Thank you for your kind words. Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to be with you all today. I think when I came here about 3:30, and I just thought that we'll have a roundtable conference. I'm very much encouraged by the number of people who have come here. Before I begin my speech, I want to thank you, Professor Nagarajan, for introducing me and also speaking a lot of kind words about my IT journey as well as my sporting activities. And I just thought that I'll just spend about 30 to 45 minutes in telling you what I have come and what is my complexion is all about, and then how did I get into IT, and then what is the journey I have taken so far in an organization, because I've never seen a second organization in my life. 27 years in TCS, right from campus at IIT Madras. So I just thought I'll share some of the good experiences and also some of the things where one need to be very cautious when you grow in the corporate ladder. And I think I must tell you that the 27 years has been very satisfying for me, not because of any reason, but because I've been really able to get satisfaction both in my career as well as in my home front. And I'm sure that it's very important for each and every one of us when you actually take up a very serious profession like IT and then grow and then be part of a growth story of an organization, that you really be successful at both ends. And any success in any one place is not going to give you all the satisfaction. With a note to really congratulate all of you to have your own dreams coming true in the future years, I just thought that I'll just probably give you my background. Come from a family, I used to live in Tambaram, still my house is in Tambaram. A very short story, nothing like a movie. And with a family of 5 daughters and a son, coming from definitely an affluent family with very learned people. And one of the daughters, as myself, wanting to really do something different in my life, that I really took to education. And since I really came out with rank in my SSLC those days, and I really studied in National Merit Scholarship throughout my my academic career, where I didn't pay any money. And in fact, the IIT stipend used to be about 1600 rupees. I think Alamelu will agree with me, and she used to be my colleague in another department. So that was really a sumptuous money for us to spend, and getting into IIT. And if some of you recall, IT was not that obvious or visible career for many of us, mainly because software and the engineering along with software was really budding those years. I would say that the birth of IT right from 1960s to 80 were more like data processing and also the EDP department of a large house. I think only early 80s people started to think that IT can definitely be the forerunner, and I'm very sure that it will still be the forerunner, mainly because of few reasons that I really believe in. You may really work with any technology, you may work with any core engineering, or you may work with anything that is very interesting, very innovative, and that is something which is going to give you the next generation thinking or offering. But what is very important is to really realize that there is something which is to run across the backbone or the nerve across all these verticals. And definitely IT plays a very, very crucial role. There must be very many horizontals of any niche organization, irrespective of what domain it is, but still IT would play a very great role and significant role in making sure that an organization as a whole delivers success to its own end customers. So in that sense, I have a very humble feeling that IT is not just developing programs or fixing the code or doing the production support. It has got something really very meaningful embedded into it. You can really be very creative, very innovative. You can probably come up with lot of niche things where you can really talk about, there are a lot of things which are talked about, the autonomy computing or mobility solutions, social networking, social media, and there are a lot of things that are talked about, green computing, next generation data centers, network security, and so many new fields are coming up, and people are talking about big databases and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to tell you that IT is not just about programming, and there is so much more which probably I will touch upon while I speak to you. And I just thought that I will probably share some how I grew and how I made my organization also grow along with me, mainly because those days when I joined TCS in 1985, right from IIT, and then went to Bombay as a trainee. TCS itself had about 1,400 people. You can really imagine TCS becoming 247,000 from consultant base of 3 people when it was founded on the 1st of April 1968. And people believed that software was an engineering discipline, so people really spent a lot of time and energy in investing into R&D to create frameworks, to create tools and technology, so that when you really offer something to the client, you are probably making a competitive differentiation. And that is what was probably the DNA of TCS when they really started to grow in a very exponential manner. So I think when we all joined, there was a lot of investment into technologies, though I really started working on Tandem here in IIT Madras and IBM 370 here. When I really jumped into TCS for my initial learning program, it was actually, I think here it was Prime 450 and IBM 370, and in TCS it was Tandem and again IBM. And when you really come back and you get posted to different cities, if you had gone to Delhi, you would have probably ended up working on AS400. If it was Chennai, you would have probably been working on ICL 2904. And if it was in Mumbai, you would have probably worked in Burroughs. So I had a chance to work in Burroughs, took a transfer to Chennai to work on ICL 2904. And since I've been working on IBM technologies, trained by IBM in New Zealand in 1986, and then my journey on IBM has started for the last 26 years. I think now when I'm heading the Technology Excellence Group within TCS, and the IBM platform itself has got more than 61,000 people. That's the kind of portfolio that IBM Technologies hold, where I represent that as a SPOC from TCS. It runs across all platforms, the mainframes, the I series, the P series, and also the other things like, you must have probably heard about the databases, the information management, Tivoli, and also Lotus. Everything encompassed, we probably have more than about 60,000 associates. So the journey has been very, very, very interesting. And at the same time, there were a lot of challenges too, because when you really join an organization and then you really, the number of women those days are only 2%. In fact, in Chennai, when we were about 65 people, there were only 3 women, including myself in TCS Chennai. And you can probably imagine that has really shot up to the number of 30%. So we have more than about 57,000 people as women associates in TCS itself. So I think women have started to really taking up IT, mainly because I think they found it to be very interesting and the career to be not, to be more stable and also challenging. And that was really one of the reasons why I also thought IT is going to be very useful to me. I always used to say whenever I'm mentoring engineering college students or I do many programs for the +2 students to give them the career guidance in IT across all metros. And whenever I go and meet them and tell them IT is not information technology, it is basically the Indian talent. The Indian talent to really learn, to really be flexible, to be mobile, to be agile, and also the talent to really adapt yourself to any culture, because as some of you might know, if TCS has got about more than 152 offices across 44 countries, and we work with a non-Indian workforce of about 23,000 people across 80 nationalities, and we have got global delivery centers in 36 locations across the globe, and you really work with about more than 1,200 customers of various cultural contexts, then what is the kind of cultural alignment one has to have in order to work well with that customer? And that is humongous. I think that is what has been taught to us, as you have to be adaptable, you need to culturally align, and you need to be always a person who can unlearn, relearn, and then really be a person who can be the torch bearer of success. I think for me, if I look back, I was at the right place at the right time to get the right kind of empowerment, and the people, my bosses, believed in me to give me more and more responsibility, so that you become a person with the multitasking capability, that you are able to, when you are young, you are able to handle many things, which is definitely not the case now as of today, because people are really bogged down to a single relationship or a single customer. But those days we had an opportunity to work with more than 10 or 12 customers at any point in time. And so it gave us a variety to understand customer expectation. It gave us a chance to work with totally new teams whom you have not even seen for the rest of your life, and totally able to work with customers who do not speak English, who really find it very hard when you keep talking to them even more than 2 or 3 sentences, and make sure that they understand what you want to convey, and then make sure that they are part of your growth success story. And also a person who is willing to learn various technologies, who is a person who is willing to take leadership position when it comes to that, and then show capability and also delivery excellence. I think those are all the things which are definitely becoming more of a hygiene factors now. If you can lead from the front, and if you can really stretch your own personal goals, and you make sure that you really care for your team, and then empathize with them, and then recognize them and reward them, and then always look at the success as the only mantra, I think definitely success will be yours, just like success was mine. And I remember having delivered more than about 3,000 projects across more than about 78 customers with whom I have worked. The one thing that I have learned is you really have your feet on the ground, you really work with the fundamentals, and you are the person who can be looked upon as a mentor, as a coach, or a counselor to your team, and make them understand that you are not really at 30,000 feet. I'm sure that every one of them will look up to you and then come with you and then make you as a successful icon in your own organization. I think that is what I have learned. I must have worked with more than 25,000 people in the 27 years. And what was really very interesting for me was the ability to transform any crisis projects into something which is very natural, able to really meet the tough customers and then give them all the confidence that you are able to really going to deliver. And I'm very sure that if some of you think that the projects are going to be very small in nature, it is not so. One of the projects which I remember for JP Morgan Chase, when we were working on their customer information system, it was the largest project in the financial history. It has come in the press in the US also. And that is the project where when Bank One was acquired by JP Morgan Chase, they had to really choose a system of choice. And so when they went in for the customer information system, which has actually touched every channel of the bank, you must be really knowing that when you have a retail banking, your corporate banking and institutional banking, and you are touching 175 million customers, 255 million accounts, and you need to cut over something like 3 billion transactions every 6 hours, and you cannot have more than 0.0016% of exceptions in your handling. The kind of the robustness of the software that you need to deliver with the help of about 200 odd people